Tonight, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders taking on Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers.
NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Los Angeles Chargers. And we are underway here in Las Vegas. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. And Murray's still down. Maybe shaking up that go-around. Let's hope he's all right. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Eight yards to go on second down. Here's Carr to throw. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Carr. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. On first down, Carr. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a first and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. Here's Jacobs, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle, but collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on first and goal.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for third down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go?
And did he get in? Yes, they say it's a touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from a yard out. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it Here's the all-pro returner from 2018, Andre Roberts. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10, right at the 30. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Herbert. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Herbert. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. Now room for Eckler. And finally down at the 36-yard line. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 36. Back to throw here, Herbert. Finds the open man, it's Mike Williams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Coming up on 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He'll get this over the middle here to Palmer.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A handoff, it's Eckler. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd and 5 now. Herbert. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 3rd down. Here's Herbert. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Josh Palmer there to make the grab. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails, because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Carr now to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man, because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Herbert, and his throw is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Right back to Williams, and this time he's got him. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Herbert on first down now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. And this is going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Fourth down, and on is Ty Long to punt. Hunter Renfrow deep to return for the Raiders. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfrow. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Carr. And that's caught. It's Brian Edwards. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Carr again. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
The coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Looking to throw again on second down. Carr on the slant. He'll get it to Jones. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Carr to throw again. But he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Carr now on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows a defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On first down, it's Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The final shot before the break for Herbert. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. On the return, Andre Roberts from his end zone. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not great starting field position as well.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A give, Eckler running to the right. And shutting him off, now open field. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Eckler. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defensive coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
Herbert on 3rd down now. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Herbert jet sweep as he taps it forward. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
30-yard line, 2nd and 12. To the air again, Herbert. And complete, right side to Cook. Touchdown! Jared Cook, 30 yards, and the Chargers have taken the lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Carr. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. To throw, it's Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Carr. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing to start the drive. Herbert, slant route, going to be caught by Palmer. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On 2nd down, Eckler. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 95 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. Three quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Herbert now. And that is incomplete here.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Justin Herbert looking to pass. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Now Herbert, 3rd and goal. And that's incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Carr, he'll set up the screen to Drake.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Now Carr. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Carr now on 1st down. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. That catch good for only a couple.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the 1st down.
2nd and 8. Here's Carr to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Drake. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And this goes out wide for Drake. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Carr. The open man here, Renfro. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Edwards. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. A 10-play drive that time, and it winds up at 6 points for the Raiders. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Option play, and they'll give to Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And he powers his way up past the 30. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Victory formation, time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay
sweat
with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Las Vegas.